Are you a magician? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sylvia Salo and I help light workers and starseeds to remember who they are. And in this video I want to talk about being a magician and doing an actual magic. Is it even possible? And how do you know if you are a magician? So first of all, I would like to say that in these times where we are at, in this golden age, there will be lots of magicians. And some of you may resonate with different terms than the word magician. To me, magician is somebody who is able to use what we would call supernatural powers to create good. And it's somebody who is able to actualize their highest potential. And while doing that, you really do unlock many gifts that we may see, in some sci-fi fantasy movies. And there were times in our history when we were able to use those gifts. And as we are going more into the golden age, there will be more people tapping into their magical powers, and I do believe that the future generations, they will have those powers and those gifts active since they are born. Because in every golden age, this is something that happens. It produces certain type of people. And in this golden age, there are going to be magicians. And I have made another video on the topic of those golden ages and how our time is different from the previous cycle. So I'll link it somewhere here. In case this video goes first, then you will find it on my YouTube channel later. I just want to ask you, have you ever had a dream? Now, I mean when you are sleeping, where you were using some supernatural abilities, where in your dream you were able to, create a light balls from your hands and throw it at some, not so good beings in your dreams. What have you been doing in your dream state? Because this is a clue to your powers. It's no coincidental the type of dreams you have. And during your dream state, you are actually being trained for using your magical gifts. Because first, we practice it in those astral realms. We are actually being trained. I will make another video on the dreams alone. So just to stay with the topic, what kind of abilities and magical powers do you have in your dreams, if you remember your dreams? This is the first thing to look at. And then another resource to look at is your own imagination. Like when you were a child or even now, right? Like what kind of gifts are calling you? What kind of magical powers feel like, wow, I would like to know how to use those powers. I would love to know how to use them. So look at your dream state or into your imagination to kind of give you a clue, because at least in the dream state you are being trained to again be able to use your magical powers. And so these things that we do in the dream state, we are first practicing it in those astral realms. And then later on, we are able to use it in our embodiment, in our 3D life. Now, the information I've received is that as the golden age progresses and it finds its equilibrium, there will be children really born with those gifts fully active. But because we are not in that equilibrium state of the golden age yet, we actually have to kind of bring it through these etheric and astral realms down into ourselves. So first we have to focus on mastering our power, knowing how to channel our power and the energy properly. We have to truly spend lots of time on our own, going deeper, connecting to the core of our being. And we have to spend lots of time on the self-actualization and truly maturing as souls. And then those gifts, they will come, they always open up. It's as I said in other videos on my channel, it's a side effect, byproduct of your evolution. Because so-called, magical powers, they are actually not so magical. It's just it's almost like a spiritual physics, if you want. It makes sense. There is a certain technology that gets activated as there's more spiritual light moving through our system. And many of you may wonder, how do I open up and activate my gifts? And since to me, I haven't found a way how to truly teach masses how to open up their magical powers, because it really does depend where you are on your journey, how self-actualized you are, and how many perhaps other things needs to be addressed first. But I still wanted to give you some kind of basic principles and ideas to work with. So as I said, the first step is to really look into your dreams. And if you don't remember your dreams, then go back to the feeling that you get from those dreams. Another tip is start purifying your intentions. Your intentions do matter so much, and it will matter even more as we progress into the golden age, because this golden age can truly only be established if we are purifying our intentions and those deepest motives. So for instance, nowadays what I see is that we are kind of just tapping just on the very surface of the things. We are tapping into our magical powers when we want to manifest something. I believe this is one of the reasons why so many people are drawn to the law of attraction and manifesting your life. And I do agree, we should be able to manifest fully our life in every aspect of our life. This is a natural thing. Anything else means that we are not fully in our soul's power. We are not fully in that creator mode within us. But at the same time, all these things, manifesting a new job, car, house, six-figure business, whatever it may be, this is just on the surface. And usually it comes from the ego or from the fear. There aren't those purest intentions involved in most cases. And there is nothing bad about manifesting those things. I do believe, as I said before, that we should be able to manifest the life we want on every level of our being. But also, I would like to invite us not to get stuck with these superficial things. Because in the past, in the previous golden ages, in the Atlantis and Lemuria, and also in the ancient Egypt, because the history of ancient Egypt is much more ancient and much more longer. But it's a different topic. They were magicians as well. But the thing is, those magicians didn't really work on purifying their intentions. And so, in many cases, unconsciously, and then later very consciously, they were actually doing what I would call the law magic. So this means you use your powers, your abilities, your potential to manifest things that are only good for you, they serve you, or perhaps they serve your family, but they don't really go beyond. And there was lots of low intentions and low motives. And this was just getting denser and denser, because many magicians, they then started taking into their bodies, again, mostly unconsciously at first, energies from the astral realm. And so instead of truly tapping into their highest potential and manifesting their powers, they would actually tap into entities that exist in the astral realm. And I'm going to talk about it deeper in the video on the dreams and the dream state. So they started taking in those entities unconsciously. And then, of course, what happens, right? It pollutes your chakras, it pollutes your consciousness, your energy, the expression of yourself. And yes, you can absolutely manifest things with it. But it's not white magic, it's a black magic. And this is something that I truly want to invite each of you to look at. Where are you connecting to? From which realm are you channeling powers and energy into your life? Because as I said, you can definitely manifest things. You can channel all kinds of beings. You can get all kinds of information. But the question is, where are you getting it from? You see, because the astral realm, it's like the closest layer to that physical reality where we live. And to most people, the astral realm is invisible, which I think is a good thing, because if you would really see, I don't think you would like it. So in this astral realm, there are all kinds of like low vibrational thought forms and emotions and energies that we as a humankind release over the course of the history. And so those low thought forms and energies, eventually they group together and they start, creating entities, and many entities are also attracted to the astral realm because they can be hiding in the shadows there. And so when our motives and our intentions are self-serving purely, and they are ego-driven, and they are mostly about how things look on the surface, this is a big issue because the whole humankind is so transfixed with how the things look on the surface, how they look visually, how their houses look, what kind of whatever, I don't even know, things that are just on the surface. And this is like a slippery slope where we are at collectively. This is the glamour and the shine, of the astral realm. And so many people, completely unconsciously, are actually tapping into the astral realms. But you, as the white magician, you truly spend that time to contemplate your deepest intentions and motives, and you only act once you know that you have arrived at that purest place when it comes to your motives. Of course, perhaps what you may consider as a pure motive now will evolve over time. That's a natural thing. I'm not expecting anyone to have the absolute final answers to what is the purest motive. You have to answer it to yourself. But truly do please spend that time on digging deeper. In one of my group programs, Sacred Union, I had given previously an example. Let's say you want to purchase a car. And so maybe this is not a case for everyone, I just take it as an example. You want to buy a car because it would make you feel more confident if you have a new car. And so this is the motive, you want to feel more confident. Then you ask yourself, well, why do I want to feel more confident? The answer would be, I don't feel confident right now, so I need something external, like a new car, new clothes, new house, new job, new partner, to boost my confidence. And so then you ask yourself, well, why do I believe that I need something external to make me feel more confident? And then maybe after a few layers, you get to a place where you find out that actually it's not about those external things. You just really want to fully express your soul. You want to fully express your essence and let it shine. And so that desire there is to expand, to express yourself, which is very much aligned with this golden age we are stepping into. And so eventually you get to that as pure motive as you can at that moment, right? So it can be fully expressing your soul. And so that type of car may be that visual expression of your soul's essence. And so if you get to that motive, then yes, go and have a car, but it's done from a completely different space. But this is not the only thing I wanted to mention. I also wanted to mention that the white magician truly does surrender to the highest good. What it means is that you use your powers in service to God. Because after all, you are just the steward of those powers. You had not invented them. They truly don't belong to you. You're just kind of renting them, right? And because that's the case, you also have to show and demonstrate that you are mature enough, that you will use your powers and your gifts for the highest good. And again, you don't have to know what's the highest good. But what you can do is to keep surrendering, keep asking God or whatever you believe in, but hopefully something high. You keep asking and surrendering to that higher will to show you how it wants to be used through you. For instance, you ask Source Consciousness, how does it want to show up through you today? How does it want to use your powers for the higher good? And this higher good, it may have nothing to do with you at all. That's the point, you know. You don't do things based on what serves you. Of course, there needs to be a balance, like we don't go into sacrificing. That's a different topic that comes from the ego purely. But the thing is, when you do something what is for the highest good of all, you will also receive at the same time. You will receive from a different channel, but you will. And so go deeper into your purest motives and your intentions. Another thing I want to mention is what I see a lot currently happening is that people give their power away to things like, I need to learn some ritual, or I need certain crystals, or I don't even know what, you know. That people believe that they need some kind of tool or some kind of physical object to activate their powers and to manifest what they desire. Well, it does work, 100%, but again, it's more like that low astral plane magic. So you don't need any of those external tools because the magic is within you. It's within you. You just have to spend enough time going deeper and deeper and deeper and not getting distracted by those quick fixes or shortcuts or rituals and so on. Please, don't go that way. This doesn't go anywhere good because we can see it from the history, right? So instead, if you truly spend that time understanding yourself, getting to that place where you are maturing as a soul, you are able to elevate your motives. You are able to elevate your soul's energy. You are able to harness more spiritual light within your being, and then activating those magical powers is a natural side effect. Another thing I want to mention, that the white magician can truly create doors and portals. Literally portals, but it's a different topic. But now just these normal quantum doors. You as a magician, you never get stuck between two options. You don't get stuck in the duality. So let's say you are in some situation where you would normally think, oh, there is only option A and an option B. Well, as a magician, of course you do open up quantum doors. You can open up so many doors to different timelines as you wish. Don't ever tell yourself that you are stuck. Please, white magician doesn't operate in that victim mentality. I know it may sound harsh, but you have to wake up to the power that is within you. You cannot be, kidding yourself and lying to yourself about how powerless you are. You have to be truly woken up to that power within. And so, yes, you can activate different doors. Don't ever let anyone tell you there are only two options for you or only one option. You can choose again. With your decision and with your soul's energy, you do activate new quantum doors to different solutions, different potentialities, different timelines. This is one of the things that magicians know how to do. And I know that every single one of you watching this can do it. And if you tell me that you can't, then I'm sorry, it's not true. So start using the power that you already have. And get really sober to what you can create. Start using your power wisely. Surrender to that higher, whatever you believe, like ideally source, right? The source of all life. And use your powers for higher good. The last thing I want to mention is, for white magicians doing white magic, it's so important to at least have some basic idea of what is actually going on. By that I mean what is going on within the creation as such. You want to understand at least the basics of that higher plan. Because if you don't, you can unconsciously, through ignorance, through unconsciousness, put your powers in a bad use by manifesting something that's not aligned with that higher good. And so I say it because sometimes people say, like, we don't have to understand the why, we don't have to understand the bigger picture. Well, I would challenge you to spend time understanding the bigger picture. Like, you don't have to know all the details, but at least having some kind of idea of what is happening. At least on my channel, I'm trying to give you some kind of idea. I don't say everything. What I share on the YouTube is just on the surface, because that everything is not for everyone. But even that can bring you some kind of like overall understanding. That understanding why things happen and how things are related and so on. This is something that naturally happens as you increase your consciousness. It's a side product of it. At some point you cannot shut down your eyes anymore. You cannot pretend you don't see and you don't know. So one way to get to understanding the bigger picture is truly do spend time in your meditation when you are alone, contemplating the questions you are interested in when it comes to understanding the bigger picture of the universe. And mostly how the earth and the evolution of the earth, is related to that bigger picture. In your meditation, really go into that kind of philosophical mode, what they used to do, in the 19th century, when people would gather and they would just keep asking questions and just stay with those questions. You ask yourself questions and then you sit and you can take that question and look at it from different angles. This way you are truly increasing your consciousness and those answers, they will come to you. So for white magicians, it is important to at least have some kind of idea about something. No, I mean about this basic understanding of what we are doing here, where we are headed, why things are happening. Don't tell yourself, oh, it's okay, I don't have to understand. Of course, you don't have to understand when it comes to normal things in your life. Like, you don't have to know how things are going to be manifested. It's not important at all. But I mean those really bigger picture of things. For instance, this one thing that I just had shared with you, that there are many people who are channeling energy from astral realm. And by doing it, they unconsciously are tapping into that low frequency that can give them the powers, answers, experiences, and so on. But that's not the way we go anymore. From now on. That's the old war, that's the old structure, that's a false power. And so I invite you to go really deeper. Spend more time with yourself without distractions. Just you and your consciousness. And things will start emerging. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, please let me know in the comments below what kind of questions you have when it comes to magic and magicians. I think I will make more videos on those topics in the future. So let me know what you are interested in. And thank you so much for watching.